Okay, guys, this is homework help for lesson 2.5. Lesson 2.5. So remember, for verbal models, we have to label all variables. We have to write an equation, solve an equation, and then write your answer in a complete sentence. So for number one, I'm going to set this up for you. Okay, I'm going to help set up these equations as we get used to it. I'm going to do 1 and 2. And I'm going to have you try your best to do 3 on your own. So last week, Julia ran 30 miles more than Akeem. Okay. So last week we have Julia and Akeem, right? And Julia ran 30 miles more than Akeem. If Julia ran a total of 47 miles, how many miles did Akeem run? So how many miles did Akeem run? That is our question. We want to know how much Akeem ran. So let's start labeling what we know. We know that Julia ran 30 miles more than whatever Akeem ran. So let's remember, since they're asking for Akeem, we're going to make A be our variable, right? So I'm going to do A like this for however amount Akeem ran. And whatever Akeem ran, we know that Julia ran 30 more, okay? So Julia ran 30 more than Akeem. Well, we know that Julia ran a total of 47 miles. So we know that 47 is the amount that Julia ran. So we input is 47, okay? So 30 plus A equals 47, right? That is your equation. Now from here, it is a one-step equation to solve. And that I know you can do on your own. And don't forget to also put a complete sentence, something like Akeem ran so-and-so miles. Okay, moving on to number 2. Number 2. So this was like the example on the notes, right? So on the first day of the year, Diego had $700 in his savings account and started spending $35 a week. His brother Juan had $450 and started saving $15 a week. After how many weeks? So they want to know how many weeks will the brothers have the same amount of money? So we're going to solve for W. That's our variable. We want to know how many weeks. That's what we're asking for. So when we're talking about brothers and we're talking about savings and whenever they have the same amount of money, we're going to have to set up each equation. So let's start with Diego. Diego had $700 in savings. He started with $700. And he started to spend, remember, spending money, you're losing money from your savings. When you spend, you lose money from your bank account. He's spending $35 a week. This should actually be per week. I like the word per better. Per week. Okay. So per week, I'm going to fill in my W here in brown. So this represents Diego. Now let's do Juan over here. Juan is starting with $450 and he's saving $15 a week. So once again, I like per better, per week. So he's gaining 15 per week. And when we want to know when they have the same amount, we're simply going to put our equal sign in between. I went ahead and wrote the equation for you. Now go ahead and solve on your own. This is variables on both sides. So this is from lesson 2.4. Now I want you to try to set up the equation for 3 on your own. You are on a boat traveling the navigable portion of the Seine River, which is 525 kilometers. This is in France for anyone who wants to know. The boat's average speed is 25 kilometers per hour. How many hours will it take? So they want to know hours. That's what you're solving for. How many hours? So I want you to use the variable h. Okay, I want you to use the variable h, but I want you to set up an equation on your own. They're giving you 525. They're giving you 25. They're giving you the word per, right? Per. So I want you to try to solve the rest on your own. And then the backside is review. You can use your calculator. Remember, if you want to use a root, you're going to have to hit second. And then this X2 button gives you the root. And then for cube roots, right, something with the 3 right there, you're going to have to go to math, go down to the fourth option, hit enter, and then type in whatever number you want to solve for. 7 and 8, this is practice from lesson 2.4. Okay, lesson 2.4, you have variables on both sides. All right, if you need help, raise your hand and you will get help from the sub and or the classroom aid if there's one available. So, yep, go ahead and try your best. This homework is due tomorrow. Once again, try your best with number 3. It's okay if you get it wrong. I just want you to try, and we'll move on from there.